Lego Black Friday deals are live right now, and there is a pretty good selection of sets on a nice discount. So let's take a look at many different sites and see where we can get the most for our money. Starting out, none other than Lego.com, and we are on the sales tab. And really quick, I do want to start off with the few sets that have sold out, beginning with the Razor Crest. That was 30% off. This one I don't think lasted more than an hour. I got into the site around a little after midnight, after a couple minutes of waiting, if you saw that video that I made as soon as the sets dropped, and it was still in stock, but I think by the time I wrapped up recording, it didn't even last too long, which is unfortunate. 30% discount was nice. It had a nice shelf life, and who knows, maybe we will get another UCS Razor Crest at some point in the future. Probably not for the foreseeable future, but you never know, as it will be appearing again in the Mando and Grogu movie. So now, if you missed out on this beauty of a set, it's going to cost you even more on the secondary market, which, for my sake, and I'm sure a lot of other people's sake, maybe a nice upgraded UCS Venator that we can see in the future. I do own this set. I am a big fan of it, but just really sad that it's gone. The Viking Village as well didn't make it too far. I did call that this should be around $90, $100, and well, $91, 30% off, and it's gone. I don't know how long this one lasted. I don't think it lasted much longer than the Razor Crest. It was a fantastic site, really worth the price at retail, which makes it even more worth it under retail. But we move on to sets that are still in stock with the Tantive 4 on Lego.com for 40% off for $47.99. But I wouldn't particularly recommend going out and getting this set off of Lego, because if we move over to Walmart, you might notice that they have MIDI scale sets for half off, which you can save yourself $10, which of course, unless you want to get those insider points, or if you need a set to hit that dollar amount to get any of the GWPs that they are currently running, which is still the hot chocolate stand and the mini castle right now. So unless you want that, I would still recommend save the money over on Walmart. $40, you're going to save right about $10, and I think it's just the better buy. But also you have the Helicarrier and the Superstar Destroyer, which are two fantastic sets. I think the Superstar Destroyer might be the actually be the best of the MIDI scale sets that Lego has made. So really good deals going on there, and I'm shocked that Walmart hasn't even sold out of these. They must have a ton, and they're just like, you know what? We need to get rid of some inventory. But move back to Lego.com. We have the Mos Espa Pod Race diorama at $50 off, 50% off, which is a fantastic buy for this set, and what it probably should have been around retail, if you're asking me. $80 for this just didn't really feel like it. It didn't do it for me like other diorama sets like the Throne Room, the Trench Run, even the Trash Compactor in some ways. Even though I wasn't crazy about that, it still did include some minifigs and some play features, but either way, I thought this was one of the weaker, if not the weakest, of the bunch of dioramas that they made. And hopefully dioramas do come back. There's plenty of scenes they can make. But this was just one that, while it was an alright looking set, the price really hindered why a lot of people didn't like it or just didn't feel like spending the money for it. I know the reviews on Lego.com say one thing, but I feel a lot of people really hated that price. And if it started off at $40, who knows? Maybe I would have bought it. Probably not. But if you were eyeing to collecting all the dioramas, definitely pick this one up at 50% off. I think it will last a few days. Maybe not through the weekend, but you never know. Definitely don't wait. Run if you have been looking for this. The Home 1 Star Cruiser, 20% off for $55.99 from its original retail price. While it's not retiring at the end of the year, it is nice to see Lego at least throwing a set on discount that will be around for a little bit longer. You know, I still think this was a solid set. I think that we should get one in a larger scale, like a play scale with some minifigs, but maybe this was a little bit of a trial run for Lego to do and see exactly what they would have as far as sales go before making a larger version. Is this my favorite set in the world? No, I'm not the craziest Home 1 fan, even though I just said I wanted to get a playset version. I just am not as crazy about it as, say, a Venator, Star Destroyer, and sets like that. But I still think inevitably it's one of those sets that they will make, because it is a pretty important piece of Star Wars. 20% off for this, really fair value if you have been wanting it. At the same time, though, I do think you could always hold off and wait for its retirement, which I believe should be the end of next year, when I think we can see this for the same, if not a better deal, like maybe 30% or even a very generous 40%, which is what I will be holding out for before buying this. The Crimson Firehawk, yes, I know it's a 4+ set. Well, why are we talking about it? Well, because the minifigs included are actually very solid with the 3 of them. And this set has been 40% off forever. LEGO docked it another 20%, adding it to 60%. And for $20, that's what this should have originally been, not an insane 50. And it will be very telling if this set does in fact make it through the weekend, because I feel a lot of collectors like myself would only be getting this for the figs. The build is all right. I mean, the Crimson Firehawk looks cool, but this isn't a set that I am particularly going out for in any way. I mean, who knows? Maybe if it makes its way into 2026 and it can be on a clearance, maybe for $15, and I'm walking through the Target or Walmart aisle or whatever, maybe I'll grab this. But 60% off, you really can't beat it. I don't think it's going to make it. I'll give it a week tops on the LEGO website. I really think a lot of people are going to look past this one. The Kylo Ren shuttle, once again, like with the home one, 20% off for $55.99. A little bit of a fair price. I still think that it should have been around $45, $50 rather than the retail of a $70 set, which is where a large part of the criticism comes from the set. It does look good. I like it better with the wings out rather than the wings up. I think that you can make the argument for more of its value in this position than this one, if that makes any sense. But still, if you were desperate for a Kylo Ren command shuttle midi scale set, I guess get it now, even though I do think you can find this for around $45 this time next year. So not one that I will be getting at the very moment, as I do want this, but I do think that there is a better opportunity if we just have a little bit of patience. I still did want to include this, just because, like with the home one, just because I know people have had their eyes on this, and just wanted to include it because I couldn't fault anyone for going out and buying it for a 20% discount. Just wanted to point that out there because we can definitely have a better one, and we will have a better one. The R2-D2, that is extended until next year, so another year of shelf life for this beauty, down over $20, just over $20 to $79.97. Great set. Darth Malak minifig will survive yet another year, which is great. I believe earlier in the year this set was rumored to retire, hence why I've been saying it's going to retire, but we have cleared the air on that, just like my error the other day when I said the Daily Bugle wasn't retiring, because I always mix up that and the Avengers Tower of which one was retiring this year, which the Avengers Tower is going at the end of the year. Either way, $20 off of this set, I think that's great, but I do think because we've seen the Grogu and Hoverpram see 50% off, maybe LEGO will toss this around $60 or even $50 next year, closer to its retirement life. I think this set has been selling well. Obviously, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but just by how much everyone really wants that Darth Malak minifig and likes the new, smaller droid line, I thought this would have been a great seller, and it kind of shocks me that they're putting it on sale, just because I think that it was selling pretty well at $100, but you know, I'm definitely not going to complain. And as someone who owns that UCS version, maybe I pick this up, get the Darth Malak minifig, and then end up doing a nice rebrickable build with the R2-D2 and make something nice. That's where I'm probably leaning towards if I do decide to pick this up on the Black Friday sale right now, or maybe I wait until a steeper discount, maybe later this year or right before its retirement. That would be rather exciting. Speaking of good deals, the Grogu and Hoverpram on Walmart now officially out of stock, so that is a bit upsetting right there. I don't know about Amazon and Target. I know I just pulled it up on Walmart for this video because that's where I found it first, and it was 50% off. Over on LEGO, it's around $70, and this set must not be selling as well as originally planned. It just came out in January of this year, so almost a year ago, and LEGO has already discounted it to 50% off, which is $50. So that should tell you a little bit that this set might not be the best-selling set in the world, and I'm shocked that they are actually putting this on a steep discount. I thought it was going to be doing better than this, and that $80 price tag, like on Lego.com, would have been the max sale we would have seen. I would still strongly consider picking this set up. If you can find it for $50, I think this one, like I've said in the past, is almost as good as the larger scale Grogu. I'm just a bigger fan of the original one. I like the scale of that one more, even though I do really like the hover pram and the addition of the knob you get and the cookies and the frog and all the extracurriculars that we get in this set. And this Grogu is pretty dang cute. So I think that it would be a lot easier to display as well, and just many different display opportunities, whether you have it like this or how the box has it when Grogu is in his pram. Otherwise, some good deals. But speaking of good deals, or I should say great deals, we have, well, this one isn't as great. It was how much was it yesterday? What was it? $5.50, or was it a couple dollars less? Anyway, it was a little over $100 off the Levar Crane going at the end of the year. $600. It's been selling, I think, relatively well. I'm really not too tapped into the Technic line all that much these days, even though I do follow it slightly. $700, $602.15. So 14% off. Maybe you would have hoped to have something a little bit better, but if you were going to save around $100 on this, a set that I think you can make a true argument for it being $700, hey, you're not going to be mad at yourself for saving the money, and obviously not going to be bad for saving the money. But what I'm trying to get at is a 15% discount might not be the best thing in the world, like a 20, 30, or even 40, but I still think you'll be happy with this set. I thought you would be happy with it at full retail, so definitely at any discount you would be even happier with. The B1 Battle Droid and Stap at 36% off over on Amazon. Absolutely nuts. One of the top sets of the year, in my opinion. I'm surprised that LEGO hasn't made this one sooner than we've gotten it. I think that this was a must-have, and we will probably be getting a Super Battle Droid within the next 2 years, I would assume, as we have the Droideka and then the B1 Battle Droid and Stap. A fantastic set, just a few months old, just like with the Grogu and Hover Pram. Kind of surprised that it is on this steep of a discount, but then again, this is Amazon, it's not LEGO. So Amazon's like, you know what? This has been selling well. Let's just make it even less money and give the people what they might not have been asking for, but definitely will appreciate. Because we've had sets like Grogu and Hover Pram, the midi scale sets, the Coruscant Guard gunship, all with these insane discounts as of recent. So it's been pretty good, at least in terms of the Star Wars sets right now. The Boarding the Tantive 4, once again, at 30% off. This one is selling out. Lego.com, it's gone. I believe, where is it? On Target or Amazon? Not Amazon. We're looking at Amazon right now. Or Walmart. It is sold out, I think, on pretty much every site. It might be gone, except for Amazon right now. Fan favorite. Should have had, I felt, 1 or 2 more years of shelf life. But either way, this is something pretty positive, and maybe LEGO can make more scenes like this in the future and have that opportunity to really expand them, because this was a massive hit. 25th anniversary minifig aside, just the set itself was a great success, and myself and plenty of other people really enjoyed this set. Just buying multiple, expanding them, or even just having one. Great for play, great for display. You get a lot of nice minifigs included, and that 25th anniversary minifig of 5s. Even though it wasn't the greatest we've ever seen, it was pretty bad, that helmet mold. It was still better than nothing, so something is always going to be better than nothing. The Hogwarts Castle and Ground, one of my favorite sets, 18% off down to $140. A very nice set. I would love to see LEGO continue something like this in the future. It seems like this might be a Harry Potter type of line, because now we have the mini Diagon Alley. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it tapped into, say, Marvel or even Star Wars. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Does LEGO need to carry something to do for one theme into every other theme? No. But I do think something like this, or the upscaled minifigs for Marvel and Star Wars, would definitely be really nice, especially for me. That's something that I would really be advertising for. I mean, how could you not like a mini Jedi Temple or an upscale Luke and Vader 2-in-1 pack? That would really be just perfect for me, at least. I think that you can toss this on display, upsize minifigs, a nice mini Jedi Temple, and you can call it a day. Charge whatever you want. I'd be there day one, lining up 5 a.m. waiting for it. I wanted them for years, man. LEGO, please. Target has some good sets. Speaking of Harry Potter, or I should say continuing with Harry Potter, I believe this set, off the top of my head, what was it, $35 on LEGO, Target discounted it, and then Target has it on another discount. This sale will end in under 24 hours. It is right under $25. I think the set does look a little creepy, but some aspects are nice. And for 25 bucks, I don't really think you can complain all too much. Definitely a very solid set for this price if you can find it there. The Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit, while it was on a better deal on Lego.com, $71.99 for a set that is going to become a very rare set in just a minute because it should sell out any hour, any day now. Pick it up. It doesn't matter what the sale is at this point, $8, $10, $5, $2, $1. You guys get the point. If you want this set, or if you have the sail barge or plan on getting the sail barge, you need to find a way to get this set because you do not want to pay double or even 2.5 or 3 times the amount in just a few years to really complete that display, your 25th anniversary minifig collection, or even just as a one-off for a really nice set. Is it overpriced? Absolutely, but it is a really good set, the best one we've had of the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit to date, and who knows when they're going to make it again. It might not be for another 10 years, and I don't know about you, but I really don't feel like waiting another 10 years to complete my display with the sail barge, and they might not even include all the minifigs included in that set in the future. You can really never be too sure, so I always say rather be safe than sorry, even if I do have to spend a little bit too much than I would have, not get the best deal. As someone who really wants that completion for the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit with the sail barge, but that's just me. That's just how my brain works. Might not be the smartest all the time. A little bit impatient here and there, but I still think that it is definitely worth it, even at retail price, or maybe on Amazon they might have it for $85 or $90 once it ends up officially selling out at the beginning of next year. I would still advise you to go out and get that, because once it's sold out officially everywhere, it's only going to go up from there, and I would not want to wait and say 6 months from now you are going to be looking at, I don't know, I'm just making this up, $150, and you could say, 6 months prior I could have spent, who knows, let's see, well, the retail price. That's what I am getting at. The Droideka, once again, $41.99, retiring. No one else has this on sale. Lego, I'm surprised, doesn't have it on sale, but Target does. They've had it here for weeks now. Great set. Huge fan of it. Wonderful. Once again, this is why I think we will be getting a Super Battle Droid. So if you were someone like me who is very... how do I word it? Someone like me who is... optimistic or predicting a Super Battle Droid in the near future, and you really want to complete the big 3 of the Droideka, the B1 Battle Droid, and the Super Battle Droid, pick this up. Make sure you have it. You can pick this up and the B1 Battle Droid in STAP, Target, and Amazon. Call it a day, and you have 2 amazing display sets right there that you can play with, display with, whatever you want. Very, very posable, and can just do a lot of great displays with them. The Marvel Avengers vs. Leviathan is down 55%. Absolutely crazy. Some solid minifigs. Leviathan's really nice. Anything 50+% off, you cannot complain. I will not complain about it. The retail price might have been a little bit too much, even though I thought the set was solid. Once again, I thought just suffered a little bit from the price. It just goes to show Target is really giving the people what they want with a huge discount. Cannot complain about this whatsoever. It is currently, I think, sold out at a lot of Targets, but maybe if it comes back in stock or at a Target store near you, you pick this one up and hey, you're going to be very happy. But a few miscellaneous sites, or I should say one-off, where we'll look at one set each. With Best Buy, the Duel on Peridia, $32.99. Solid set. I like it, especially for the minifigs, especially for that Thrawn minifig is the big selling point for a lot of people. And you do have that new, and I assume for now, well, yeah, probably forever, exclusive Morgan Elsbeth with that new face print. Ezra without the pupils is a bit of a downside, and Ahsoka without the pupils is a downside. But you do get the nice Trooper, which I am a huge fan of, even though Captain Enoch probably should have been included in this set. The Duel on Ahsoka's T6 shuttle sold out everywhere. No sale on that. Just wanted to double check and make sure I wasn't missing anything. And we have from Macy's the Star Wars logo at $47.99, 20% off. Better than nothing. A set that I'm not the craziest about, like you've heard me say a million times now. But you can plop it on any of your Star Wars shelves or in anywhere in your Star Wars display, and it really just makes the entire thing that much better. So that should do it for all of the sales, or what I consider to be some of the best sales happening right now. You got to mix and match on different sites. A lot of stuff is already sold out, and who knows, by the time you're watching this, a lot more stuff could already be sold out. So I just wanted to come on here and after a few hours of these sales being live, see what was still available, let you guys know what I thought some of the best sales were. And overall, I think it has been a solid year for sales so far, depending where you are looking, because not everything is going to be on, say, Lego, Target, Amazon, Walmart, Macy's, Best Buy, you name it. You're going to have to do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. You're going to have to look all over and sort of mix and match. Unless you really want those insider points, then maybe instead of getting the Grogu for 50% off, you get Grogu for 20 or 25% off if that is what you want. I cannot fault you, because like I always say, something is better than nothing. But don't forget to let me know down in the comments below what you think about these sales. What have you picked up? Did you miss out on anything like me? Still salty about that Lion Knights castle. But as always, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more Lego content, and I will see you in the next one.